We're going to make our predictions, guys.
Divisional weekend.
And I think that this is going to be
arguably
the best NFL week in the past 5 years, man.
That's bold.
That's bold right there.
That's really bold.
I'm going to tell you this right now.
You think every game is going to be close?
Every game is going to be close. And if it's not close, every team will have a fighting chance throughout at least 3 quarters.
Oh, man.
We got the Titans with Derrick Henry who just came back.
Yep.
We got the Bengals with Joe Shiesty, Jamar Chase.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Packers with the bad man,
Yep.
Devontae Adams, the best receiver in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Niners with Deebo Samuel and Bosa.
Red hot.
We got the Rams, who just destroyed a Cardinals team that started out 8-0.
Played their best game of football.
Oh, man. We got the Bills. The Bills are looking real hot right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the Chiefs, the team that's the most dynamic offense that we ever seen.
Yep. And not to mention, you have the Bucks.
Who have who?
The GOAT.
The greatest NFL player of all time.
So it's a good week. It's a good week of football. Now, I always say that divisional weeks always are the best weeks of the playoffs. Because you have 4 games, and it's now the Elite 8 of the NFL going head to head.
There's no trash
each
teams
week
anymore.
Yeah, you could kind of get rid of, because you have sometimes you have like a week 6 or 7 seed.
Mm-hmm.
You weeded those out. Now let's get to the real top teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So let's start with the first game of the week. Now this is a game. Some people are saying this is going to be like a blowout. The Titans.
No.
I truly believe this could be. Actually, this is game of the week.
This is game.
I just I'm going through with it. This is game of the week for me. I like this matchup because I think they both have things that counter each other well. The Bengals don't have a stellar defense, right? Trey Hendrickson,
okay.
But their rushing defense is poor.
Yeah.
You saw it against Josh Jacobs this week.
Yeah.
Who do the Titans have? The best running back in the NFL coming back, Derrick Henry.
And he seems like he's perfectly fine.
And he's rested up.
Yeah.
He's had a couple extra weeks to get rested up as well. So now you have that. Then you have the Titans passing game. It's been iffy all year, right?
But
Now you got AJ Brown healthy. Now you got Julio Jones healthy. And it's not like this Bengals passing defense is bad. Actually, it's pretty much above average, I would say, with Jesse Bates and the way Chidobe and Awuzie and some of these other players have played. But it's not a stellar defense.
It's not.
And it's a vulnerable passing defense. And now you have a Titans team that's rested up. But now let's look on the other end. Now the Titans defense, the only positive thing you could say about it is one thing. Kevin Byard in the secondary. And the fact that 3 of their defensive linemen have had 8 sacks this season.
Jeffrey Simmons.
You have
Hargrave? No, that's the Eagles.
Yeah, but you have a couple other notable guys on that defensive side.
Yeah.
Right? This Titans team is vulnerable in the secondary, especially in the DB position.
Definitely. They lost to Dory Jackson. I don't even know who their DBs are.
Yeah. So they have a very vulnerable secondary. Their pass rush is good, but we also saw that the Bengals O-line that we consider to be below average.
They could do a little something.
They held the Raiders to only 2 sacks and shut down Max Crosby the entire game. And this was a good Raiders D-line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they showed that they could be formidable and still, make sure things don't get out of hand.
Yeah.
Per se. And then you have the best receiving core in the NFL. With the hottest quarterback in the NFL.
He has done for almost 1,500 yards in 3 games.
In 3 games. There's a quarterback, and I don't care that Josh Allen had a good game. I'm sorry, but consistently through these past, let's say, 5 games, there has not been a quarterback playing better football than Joe Burrow right now in this current moment.
Not at all.
Right now. Right now in this current moment, Joe Burrow is playing the best football.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Joe Shiesty. He's playing the best football right now.
So who's your pick, Joe?
So who's my pick? You got the best receiving core, one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. Then you have the Titans, and they just got healthy. And they are the 1 seed. They got rested up there. It's in Tennessee. I have the Bengals. I do have the Bengals. There's also an aspect, I feel like, of getting the monkey off your back.
Mm.
The Bengals. I did not need an audio.
My bad.
But yes, the Bengals haven't won a playoff game in 30 years going into that Raiders game. They finally won. There's a lot of pressure that I think gets relieved when something like that happens. Truly. Because
So now they ain't tripping no more.
Because you can't tell me as a player you're not going into that game thinking there's a bit of a curse almost. Because we've seen the Bengals lose playoff games in dramatic fashion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you finally get that monkey off your back and then now you could relax and you can play your football. You know what I mean?
So you got Joe Burrow.
I do have Joe Burrow because I think he's playing the best football right now. And I think that receiving core is the best in the NFL as a trio. Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, and then Jamar Chase.
Well, this is what I got to say. I think that Derrick Henry, first quarter, is going to score a touchdown. And he's going to have almost 60 yards already in the first quarter. I think he's going to come out hot. And now the Bengals have to play catch-up. And I think that's going to tell the rest of the game.
So you think that the Bengals just won't be, time will run out for the Bengals?
Time will run out for the Bengals, and the Titans are going to win this game.
And I see, it's such a good game that I can't say you're wrong. That I can't say you're wrong.
I'm also not, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals win. I wouldn't be surprised.
So like, the reason why I really see the Bengals winning this game is because I see a lot more vulnerability with that Titans defense, and they've shown a lot more inconsistency now and then.
Yeah.
And this is, remember, I think I can consider this Bengals a top 3 offense in the NFL.
It is.
Because then you also have to factor in this. I just announced a great receiving core, right? CJ Uzomah,
Mixon.
top 5 running back in the NFL after this past season, right?
Yep.
Joe Mixon. Then you have a rushing game. I truly think this Bengals team, its offense might be a little too hard to stop. And the thing is, too, is I predict the Bengals to get out to an early lead.
Oh.
And what this causes is this takes Derrick Henry out the game. Because they can't rely on that rushing game because of the fact that they have to conserve time and they have to start passing a little bit. And I don't expect it to be like a big lead, like a 17-0 type lead.
No.
Like a 10-0 lead.
Yeah.
That's how I see it
This is not
starting
going
off.
to be a blowout.
It's not going to be a blowout.
This is a blowout in either side.
I'll be stunned. I would be completely shocked. But I do have to go with the Bengals. I really like this offense, and I think this defense can do enough to get the job done. Remember, they did stop a good Raiders offense. This Raiders offense was in rhythm going into this game.
Not very talented, but they
were a red-hot team kind of going into it. Remember, they had, a 4-game win streak going into the playoffs?
Yeah.
You know? It wasn't a push-over Raiders offense. No. This Bengals team did their job.
Now, if you want to talk about a game that could either go one way or the other, I think this one is. It sounds weird to say.
Is this your game of the week, or what's your game?
This is not my game of the week.
Oh, I like.
Because I think that this game.
That's what's so good about this week. Everything could be a game of the week, man.
This game right here,
I
honestly think the Niners could either blow out the Packers or the Packers could blow out the Niners. But it could also be a close game. No other game do I think it could be a blowout. There's no other game I think that.
Okay.
What do you think? Let them know.
I cannot tell you how nervous I am going into this game. I am extremely nervous. The Niners are of course I said this, the hottest team going into these playoffs.
Also the Packers kryptonite the past couple of years.
And the Packers, Aaron Rodgers is not going to playoff win over the Niners. The Niners pass rush has gotten 3 sacks in 7 straight games. Aaron Rodgers,
the Packers have Bakhtiari.
Possibly. Still questionable.
I think he's going to play.
He'll probably play. The thing is, though, even with Bakhtiari, the other few times the Packers have played the Niners, it didn't matter.
Bosa's also not a little dinged up.
But he's expected to play now. I just got the report about that. Fred Warner, Jimmy Garoppolo, Bosa, all expected to play. It doesn't look like the injuries will take.
Is there a Jair Alexander in this game?
He didn't practice this past week. But he's still questionable. See, a lot of players for the Packers, too, are questionable. We don't know if they're going to get the big 3 that the Packers want. It's Bakhtiari, Jair, and Za'Darius. And I don't think they're going to get all 3.
I don't think Za'Darius is playing.
No, I don't think so either. I also think that in a cold weather game, this is a Niners team that's built for that. Because they're built on the run. They're built on the run.
All right.
I don't think this Packers rushing defense is. They're not one of the best. They're better at passing defense than they are at rushing. They're not a good rushing defense.
So I'm just gonna go on a limb here. You got this Great America Santa Clara 49ers.
I got the Great American Niners.
The Great American Niners, man.
Yes, I do have the Niners. And it's not. And I could truly say from the bottom of my heart, this is not because I'm biased. I think the Niners match up well against the Packers. That being said, it is in Lambeau and it's scary. It is scary. It truly is. Because you could say that the Packers just, Aaron Rodgers just comes out in rhythm.
You could say it's going to be cold, but he's used to it.
He's used to it. And he has Devontae Adams. And he's Marquez Valdez-Scantling's not going to play for this game, so that's one receiver down, but he might get Randall Cobb back. But we've seen in the games where Rodgers has not been successful against the Niners, it's because the pressure gets to him. Right now, this D-line is playing better than any other D-line in football right now. And I think with the pressure that we could get on Rodgers, and with this rushing offense, I think the Niners go into Lambeau and beat the Packers. And now here's where I'll really be bold. Because it's not like such a bold thing to say. I truly don't believe that the Packers are levels ahead of the Niners.
They're not.
Of course, the Niners are injured. That's kind of what makes us Niners. But if the Niners are healthy, I'd argue we're the best roster in the NFC. If we had Jason Verrett and we had a couple other guys that were fully healthy, I truly think we're one of the best rosters in football. Hey man, we're the 6th seed right now. We're rolling through teams.
All right.
But either way, I will make this statement though, because I've seen this a lot from 6th seed teams. If the Niners at the 6th seed beat the Packers, they're going to the Super Bowl.
Ooh!
Yeah, they're going to the Super Bowl.
Are they going to win the Super Bowl though?
That's a whole other question. See, because I do think the AFC overall is stronger than the NFC this year. You have the Bills, you have the Chiefs, the Titans, who can be scary at times.
And Big Burr.
And then Joe Burrow. The Packers are the one NFC team that stands out. But the other two, on the other end, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Rams, have shown inconsistencies and are plagued by injuries. So I truly think if the Niners get past the Packers in Lambeau, we're going to the Super Bowl.
Well, let's stop that right now, because that's not going to happen.
Okay, so then
You know why? Because they got the better man. And I'm going to tell you right now. Niners DBs, we just talked about him earlier. Ambry Thomas, he's getting cooked.
But does Ambry cover Devontae?
Emmanuel Mosley, getting cooked. Can't nobody guard Devontae Adams.
True.
I don't know one person in this league that Jalen Ramsey can't even guard Devontae Adams. They don't even. The coaches said, no, we don't want you playing man on him. We're going to put you in zone.
And it's a good point. Actually, a great point. Again, I can't argue if you go with the Packers because they are the 1 seed. We're going into Lambeau.
This isn't biased. I honestly, I would have chosen the Niners if it was. I feel like they would win. I don't think they're going to win.
And truthfully, it's a great Packers roster that's going to get healthy now because they had the bye.
Yeah.
But, there's one other point that I did not make. There's a better coaching staff. Coaching goes into a huge effect on who's going to win this game, and the Niners have the better coaching staff.
Oh, can we also talk about this? I didn't know that the Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, and Matt LaFleur,
we're all on the Washington.
They're all on the same team?
Well, good thing to mention, they're all product of Mike Shanahan. So Kyle Shanahan's dad.
I did not
And when Mike Shanahan was the head coach for Washington, they all sat behind him. Kyle, of course, because he's his son. But they also had Matt LaFleur and Sean McVay all on that roster. So it shows how strong that Shanahan bloodline
now, all three of them are in the playoffs.
Coaching line goes.
Yeah.
They all have great offensive schemes. They all are very similar, too, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Heavy off the play action, great run stretch schemes, but there's only one coach that does it the best, and it is Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan runs that stretch scheme the best, and the only thing that holds us back really is our quarterback. Truly, from this offense being one of the best in the NFL. So, what do I think about Garoppolo? Because he is the X factor. I think Garoppolo does throw a pick in this game.
If Jair Alexander plays, I think he throws two.
I'm not going with 2. But I'm also going with Jimmy Garoppolo passing 2 passing touchdowns.
Okay.
I expect
Jamal
that.
Jennings?
Joel Jennings, no. I got George Kittle.
Okay.
I got George Kittle waking up this game.
Kyle Chick.
And Brandon Ayuk.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just saying, I like this Niners team going into this game. And it's not biased. I just think we can match up well against this Packers team when we play our best football. And right now, we are playing our best football.
All right, so we'll see how this goes. I'm definitely probably going to have some bets with people on this. This game is...
Just be careful, though, because playoffs can get really out of hand sometimes. All right.
Aaron Rodgers is going to be bad, man.
Now it's another good game. It's just good game after good game. I love this divisional round. The Rams played their best football all season last week.
Baby.
And now you have Tampa Bay, who got past the Eagles, and had Tampa Bay been fully healthy, we probably have them as favorites to maybe win this NFC. But they don't have 2 of the receivers. They're missing 2 DBs. And their old line has also got banged up this past game.
No, let me tell you this right now, Drew.
It's in Tampa Bay, though.
Let me tell you this right now. Do you remember when the Jaguars played the Patriots in the playoffs? The AFC Championship game?
Yes.
Do you know who was on both teams that are both in this game as well?
Well, Jalen Ramsey.
And
Leonard Fournette.
Okay.
And Tom Brady.
Okay. So let me tell you this right now. Jalen Ramsey was supposed to be in the Super Bowl. He remembers that. Tom Brady knows Jalen Ramsey remembers that. So Mike Evans is not catching the ball this game. He's going to catch the ball, of course, but not on Jalen Ramsey.
That's the biggest thing. Is because I truly think that, and I'm agreeing with your point here, Jalen Ramsey is the best corner in the league, first of all. And again, when you get to the top 5 receivers in the NFL, it gets hard for even the best corner to guard him because DB is just such a hard position. Like Devontae Adams got the best of Ramsey, but that's because Devontae Adams is the best receiver in football.
Yep.
And it's hard for the best DB to cover the best receiver in all of football.
Yep.
Mike Evans is not the best receiver in all of football.
Nope.
And he kind of, in a way, he's very one-dimensional.
He's diminished.
He's diminished, but he's also very one-dimensional in a sense.
He's not really a great route runner. He's kind of an aggressive, go get the ball
yes.
guy.
And Mike Evans is a very tall receiver.
Yeah.
But you know
Jalen
what?
Ramsey is a tall corner, too.
And a strong one, too, at that. I agree with your point. I 100% agree with your point that Mike Evans is going to get locked down. And then it goes to the point of injuries are a big effect. So who do the Bucs have after Mike Evans?
Gronk?
Gronkowski. That's a great point. Gronkowski could do something. But Gronkowski's also been off and on with injuries this year.
He's kind of old.
And he hasn't been 100% this year. Who else? Scotty Miller? A slot receiver.
Apparently he's the fastest guy in the league.
He's a slot receiver. And then Tyron Johnson.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. That's a great point. I got the Rams.
I got the Rams. Leonard Fournette has also, I can't deny this, Leonard Fournette this year has shown up big time. He's had a couple games. He scored 5 touchdowns one game, I think so. Yeah. And Tom Brady is still Tom Brady.
If Fournette is coming back this week, they might rely a lot on that run game, but then here's the other thing. And this is the biggest issue for me. The Rams are prone to make mistakes now and then. Yep. But now you have a rushing game that can help out with it. And I still think this Bucs D-line can give Stafford some problems.
Definitely will.
But it's the fact that they have injuries with the defensive backs.
Yeah.
And also what I want to mention is the Bucs sustained some injuries to the O-line. Their right tackle and their center. It looks a little iffy, you know? Like
it looks a little scary.
And they probably might not be out for the game, but they're not going to be 100%. And now you're going against one of the best defensive players in football, Aaron Donald.
And the second best defender.
One of the other best defenders in football, still, Von Miller. Von Miller had 9 sacks in 8 games this season played.
About right.
Think about that.
And people thought that he was over.
People thought he was washed. Von Miller, Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd on the other end, who's still formidable.
Yep. Darius Williams is a solid corner as well.
And is a solid number 2 corner. I really like Darius Williams. Rams just outclass him.
They're more talented than this Bucs team is, which the Bucs used to be a Pro Bowl team at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Slowly, they have lost players.
If
they had Antonio Brown, it sounds weird to say, but if they had Antonio Brown, I might actually pick the Bucs.
I would too. Trust me, I completely would.
Antonio Brown isn't that big of a factor on your team anymore, but because of how little talent they have on that wide receiver room, Antonio Brown will make a big difference.
Huge difference. He'd make a huge difference. And it's also, if you want to go to the next level, coaching. Bruce Arians is a product of Tom Brady. I truly believe that. I also believe that Sean McVay is one of the best coaches in football, if not the best coach in football. The Rams are just, they outclass them. They beat them earlier in the season, even when Tampa Bay was a lot more healthy at that point in the season. And now I think the Rams could be coming off this game with a little bit of swagger, a little bit of energy. I got the Rams in this one.
As long as Matthew Stafford does not throw more than one interception, I'm going to say one. If you throw
more than
two,
one, yes, my bad. I said yeah.
If you throw two, it's going to be a little scary.
It could get interesting. Just play mistake-free football, and this Rams team is going to win the game.
Yeah.
But let's get to, I'm going to assume, because you haven't mentioned it yet, this is your game of the week.
This is my game of the week, right?
And
here.
it's rightfully so. It's my second game of the week.
The Bills going
to Kansas City.
And this is going to be interesting.
I love this game because if
this
you
is
remember,
a rematch.
And if you remember in the AFC Championship game, at the end of the game, when the Chiefs were all celebrating, who was the one player that was just standing there watching?
This was Stephon Diggs.
Let it hurt. He let it hurt. He didn't go into that locker. He stood out there because he wanted the pain.
This is the better Diggs.
He
brother,
wanted.
right?
It is the better Diggs, but he wanted that pain. He wanted to make sure it hurt him. And now he gets a chance. First of all, I gotta say, there's a photo of it where he shows him standing there with the confetti. If the Bills win this game, that photo is going to become really iconic, especially if this leads to a Buffalo championship run. You got two of the best offenses going at each other.
Yep.
But here's the big difference, though.
The Bills' defense is way better than the Chiefs' defense.
You're going against the Chiefs are having the matchup against the best passing defense in the NFL. Wow. The Chiefs' defense, while formidable, especially on the D-line now with Melvin Ingram and Chris Jones and Frank Clark.
Outside of that, Tyrann Mathieu, yes, he's still solid.
But you got Daniel Sorensen.
Yeah, no.
And you have a couple other DBs like
L'Quarius Sneed, whatever.
Sneed and then Charvarius Ward. Solid. But
they're just solid.
They're just solid. I think, and I'm assuming because you're kind of leaning with me here, I have the Bills.
I have the Bills.
You have the Bills? Dude, they're just more in rhythm. What can I say?
I got a bold prediction though.
What do you have?
I'm saying there's going to be a total in this game of 800 passing yards.
So you think like what, 400 each
maybe
almost?
Like
or maybe
400 each, 500, 300, and Josh Allen's going to beat out Patrick Mahomes.
I do think this game could set up to be a shootout. But I also think this is the one game, though, where I can truly say I think this could possibly get out of hand. Because of the fact that the Bills do have the best passing defense in the NFL. And if this Chiefs defense can't stop the Bills, all it takes is a few stops. And the rhythm, the momentum, it just disappears for the Chiefs.
This is the issue for the Chiefs. Dawson Knox, he's very underrated, I feel like.
That's a tight end.
He scored 2 touchdowns last week. Dawson Knox, maybe he's guarded by Tyrann Mathieu or Daniel Sorensen. Okay. Who's going to guard Stephon Diggs? Who?
Who's going to guard him?
Charvarius Ward.
Then you have the veteran, Emmanuel Sanders, who looked good against the Patriots.
Who's going to guard him?
It's a great offense.
And then, you have the great D-line pressure. Josh Allen's fast enough to get out of there.
Exactly. That's the big difference, too, though.
It's like, okay, the D-line pressure is cute, but this isn't Tom Brady.
No, this isn't.
He's not going to stay in there and can't move.
Nope. And the thing is, too, is Josh Allen has shown just to be, even against the best D-lines in football, just to be so elusive.
And he's 6'5", man.
6'5", running the ball, too. Not to mention what he brings to the rushing game. I just think the Bills have more right now. And I think they're going to be a little more motivated in this game. I truly do, because I think a lot of the players from last year's team are on this team right now.
Yeah, that's right. They basically have the same team.
I think, here's what I will say, though. You just said 400 yards for pretty much both quarterbacks is what you predict. My bold prediction, 150 to 200 receiving yards for Stephon Diggs.
Oh, wow. That's kind of bold right there.
I want to go full in with this narrative.
He's had a great season.
Oh, for him.
For him.
He's had a very solid season,
He's had a good
though.
season for a receiver.
Here's what I want to say, though. maybe it's just because I'm a sucker for narratives. But I'm going full in with the revenge storyline for Stephon Diggs. I want to make sure that picture is going to be etched in the Hall of Fame. That's prime for a Bills possible Super Bowl run. I think.
I'm gonna disagree with that. I think that he's gonna have a cute game. He's gonna do 90.
So then what's the biggest?
My big thing is Tyreek Hill. Cause last year I remember there was a play. It was like a 5-yard catch.
And he took it, yeah.
And he almost scored a touchdown.
Now, if you want to talk about something, though, Tyreek has not had
He hasn't had a good season.
For Tyreek.
But I don't know. I feel like I don't know if it's because it's the Bills or what it is. But I see Tyreek Hill having a great game this week. I have him scoring 2, maybe even 3 touchdowns. But the Bills will still win the game.
All right. I have to go.
It's going to be really interesting.
Again, I love this divisional weekend. I think this is a great weekend of football. Hey, relax. We're almost there.
I'm putting all my money in on the Bills, man.
We're going to win it all?
Yeah.
I agree.
All of my savings right now. They're going to win, not the Super Bowl, though. I'm not going to say all that.
You think they're going to make a Super Bowl run, though? No.
I think after this, they lose.
No way you think
Yeah, dude.
The Titans.
Yeah.
The Derrick Henrys.
I don't care who it is.
Okay, well we'll cross that bridge when we get there because we don't know how this week's all going to play out, which is what I love about it so much. As a Niners fan though, it makes that's the one thing about having my team in the playoffs. Sometimes is it makes me so nervous.
Yeah.
I want to be excited for that Niners Packers game, but I'm just so nervous about it. It's just
don't pee your pants, man. That's not a good look.
Good.